in his business peer world because he was a very forward thinker. And this really bothered him. It hurt his feelings, number one. And, of course, being a top business guy, he couldn't go around telling people, gee, you're hurting my feelings because, these people can't really talk to anybody. So that's why a lot of people come and see me at that level, because they can talk to me. It's totally confidential. I'm not here to judge anybody. And so as we began to talk and we began to learn about him, and he learned about himself, he began to realize that he had been raised in an environment where both of his parents were pretty much perfectionists. They were both teachers, and they wanted it right. And so he grew up trying to bait everything right. So he himself became a perfectionist, which on the one hand helped him become amazing, but on the other hand, how many perfect people have you ever met?
Right.
None. So it kept bothering him, and he would even become self-critical. And then when he heard others criticize him or talk about him in a negative way, even though he was doing wonderful things, and he does do wonderful things, it would really pull him down, and he didn't just his full capability, his ability to access his full potential highest self was always stunted by that, even though he's wildly successful. And so in the end, we helped him correct those messages from his childhood and recorded that for him. And he went about reinforcing those new messages, that it's okay to make mistakes while learning, and that to release the illusion of perfectionism and go for excellence, doing your personal best. And the other neat thing about this guy that people don't realize is that, a lot of people talk about mastery. But mastery, my experience in studying the subject, because that's been one of my cornerstones of my consciousness and my work, and myself and with others, is that mastery is not just being good at something right now. It's being good at looking forward and evolving into the better now. In other words, taking ideas that are totally out of the norm and making that are better ideas and bringing them into the now time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And so I guess I would ask you, well, first of all, let's talk about your book. You're an author. Tell us what you're writing about now. Tell us why you're doing it, what you've written in the past, and also how people, can get in touch with you and buy your book and all of those good things.
Well, thank you. My book is called The Business of Personal Relationships. And because it all starts with us. We all think if they would just change, then we'd be happy, we'd be more successful, we'd be healthier, we'd be whatever. But the truth is that it all begins with us. And the subtitle, by the way, of this book is Insider Secrets Great Leaders Use to Increase Profit, Productivity, and Peace of Mind.
Yeah, that's a great subtitle. Very good.
Thank you. I'm trying, because again, it's touching on the fact that we are the source. Each one of us. It's as if each one of us is a business owner of our own life.
Well, we are, and that's why they talk about, at least this was talked about a few years ago, always think of yourself as you incorporated. You are the head of a business. Whatever it is you're doing, you are still head of your own life. And so how are you going to manage that life, hire people within your life, get everybody to work together as a team, whether it's your family or whomever. So we are in charge of our life.
We are. Well, in an ideal world, if we really knew how to be. And that's what I help people do, and I think you probably help people do that too, is to help people become the greater possibility of themselves.
Right. So
Right.
now, where would they get this book?
It's on Amazon. It's I just took it down last night because over the weekend I was teaching. I train people to become certified clinical hypnotherapists in Atlanta, and we have an online international course that's available. It's a 300-hour training, and I I was doing that last weekend, and I started thinking about the book that I have up there, and I wanted to add something to it. So I took it down last night, and I think it's down. I didn't check Amazon this morning, but I'm going to add this additional piece to it that will really help people understand about that brain part that I was talking about. And I'm adding that in. But the book is really stories and experiences of people, and to help them understand that, well, I know we just have a couple minutes left, but let me just tell you my philosophy. I believe that, like a seed, deep within us is the full potential of our own possibility. Like a seed for a rose bush would have the potential of the whole rose bush in it. And I believe that we all come into the world with special gifts and talents. It's just that we're raised by a community, a family, ourselves, our parents, that they don't know about their own full potential highest self. So they begin to suppress it early on. And so what I do is I help people reconnect with that after we've done some housekeeping, if you will. And they find that they are amazing. Most people don't walk around feeling like they're absolutely amazing, but they really are. And as a result of that, then they get to reinforce that and experience a whole new level of existence and living that they would have never thought possible. And they feel at home in their skin for a change, because most people don't.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, let me ask you something. Where can people go to find you, Jane? What is your website?
Executive Solutions Institute.com.
ExecutiveSolutionsInstitute.com. And for
Yes.
those of you, who might be interested in being certified as a hypnotherapist and would like to take Jane's course, evidently she's got one in Atlanta, but she's got one online too, which is 300 hours. And, I do want to ask you something. We only have, as you say, a minute or two left. Do you see a great deal of difference between the issues that men come to you with and women come to you with?
Yes and no.
Okay.
uh,
You explain it succinctly because as I say, we only have like a
yes.
minute left.
I would say overall, the type of people who come to me, the main thing is that people are hurting inside, and they have some confusion, and they have some poor programming. That the environment that they were raised in, they didn't mean to cause that problem or those problems, but people want to do it all themselves, and you just can't. You need support. Nobody gets to the top alone. Nobody can do it themselves, all by themselves. Now, we can do a lot by ourselves, but when it gets down to those deep unconscious patterns, you really need the support to do it.
Well,
So,
with that, I'm going to have to say goodbye because we are out of time. But if you are interested in finding out more about Jane Ann, go to her website, ExecutiveSolutionsInstitute.com. And thank you, Jane, for being with us today. We really enjoyed it.
thank you so much, Dr. Gill. Bye bye.